Hi everyone and welcome to Tessa, The Art of Life. In today's episode I'll be sharing with you my January favorites. One of my absolute favorite things about wintertime and autumn is to read. And I've grown pretty fond of a series by Diana Gabaldon called Outlander, and this is a series of 9, I think, books, and they are quite heavy. Ooh, this one. Now I'm currently on book number 3, which is called Voyager, and without telling you too much, the series is about a woman named Claire Beecham Randall, an English woman. She and her husband, Frank Randall, has been serving in World War II, and they are both from England, and they are taking a vacation in the Scottish Highlands. Here they are told about some ancient Celtic ritual that are supposedly going to take place up in the hills at a stone ring. And curious as they both are, they hide out and they get to see this mystery. Claire is also very interested in flowers, especially medicinal flowers, since she's a nurse. And she spotted one there up at the ring, which she didn't get a chance to look at, so she goes back the next day. While she's there, she accidentally places her hand on one of the stones, and then she gets transferred to another time, back to 1743, where she meets a fellow named Captain Jack Randall. This is actually one of Frank Randall, her husband's ancestors, and he was portrayed like a very good gentleman and highly respected. But she quickly learns that that's not the case. She also gets rescued by, or kidnapped, however you see it, by some Scottish Highlanders which are in the area, and she gets to treat one of them who is injured, and this particular Scottishman she also happens to fall in love with. As you probably can imagine, there is a lot of intrigues in this series and books. There's a lot of romance and adventure, and if you're anything like me and love romance and adventure, I highly recommend these books. In the third book, she is back in the Scottish Highlands, and Jamie Fraser, the Scottishman who she fell in love with, has stumbled upon a treasure that they are going to retrieve. But while they are trying to retrieve this treasure, Jamie's nephew gets kidnapped and is taken across the Atlantic Ocean, and they are now going to follow. It's a wild chase. There's a lot of intrigues and passion and romance and pain and heartache in this series, and all spiced up with war and time travel and social scheming. So, very good book that I recommend. I'm going to link them all below if you're interested, so just check it out there. The weather this time of year is either beginning to get really crispy cold, which is what I like. It's really nice, but it also takes a toll on both hair and your lips. Well, before I started to make my own, I normally would use up 4 or 5 of these in a month. I'm talking about lip gloss. Anyhow, I'm going to show you how you can make your own. It's so easy to do, and you only need a few ingredients. So what you're gonna need is some organic beeswax and some organic olive oil. And if you want this to last for a very long time, if you're not a big user like me, you can add a bit of vitamin E, a drop or two, and I always use some essential oils as well. Most essential oils that I use in this are antiseptic as well, so it keeps bacteria away. Add a bit of color. I'm adding half a crayon to the mix. But if you want to keep this all natural, all you gotta do is add another tablespoon of beeswax. Or if you want some other color, you can always use mixed color powder. There are plenty of mineral powders that you can use for this. Now, when reading, one often likes something to drink, and most of the time I prefer coffee. But this time of year, another beverage, hot beverage that is highly popular is hot cocoa. And, well, in most homes anyway, and this one is no exception. But I prefer to mix my hot cocoa with coffee. That way I get two great things into one. And if I'm feeling really adventurous, I add a splash of whipped cream and a little bit of orange zest above. It's really tasty, I promise. Alright, lovelies, now we got ourselves a cup of coffee chocolate. I don't know, it's called something, but I never remember. Very tasty. You should go make one. The last of my January favorites are actually these pair of lovely socks. They are so soft and cozy. Yeah, I love them. And not only do they keep you warm and comfy whilst you're reading with your cup of coffee, you can also, if you have small kids, you can also use them as puppets and work on your ventriloquistic skills. And, well, I'm not good at it at all, but there are some who are, so I'm going to leave it to them. I'm just going to use these socks as they should be on the feet. And there we go.